Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is VMP here, and this time I'm going to be bringing you some just released footage of Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord and my 2 cents on it. So, Tailworld released this footage at Gamescom, and it's going to showcase just a few of the new features that they're putting into Bannerlord. So, right off the bat, badass title screen. I don't know if this is actually going to be in-game, but not important. This is not what we're going to focus on. Here's what we're going to focus on. Look at these graphics. These are incredible. Anyone who's played the original Mountain Blade knows that these are just light years ahead of the original game. It's insane. And what's more is they have added weather and seasons into the game. So what I'm curious about is whether that's going to be just pure aesthetic, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's nice. It's still a cool feature. Or if it's going to actually have gameplay implications. Say there's a rainy battle. Are your troops going to be moving as fast? Are the horses going to be charging as fast in that muddy terrain? And are the archers going to be able to see as well, have as great of accuracy? And even to the seasons, are the trade caravans going to be moving as fast over the world map when it's snowing outside and there's a blizzard? So that'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But beyond that, I mean, it just looks gorgeous. And here we're in a tavern, which the atmosphere is just beautiful. And I'm not sure why they showcase this, but there are board games, emphasis on games, plural. And here they appear to be showing a checkers-like game. I'm not entirely sure what this is. They might have made it themselves, but that'll be interesting to see what you can do with that. If you can probably place bets on other games, I'd assume, as a way of making money. If you really don't feel like being aggressive combat oriented, which I'm not sure why you're playing Mountain Blade if you are, but that's besides the point. Now, here is the meat and potatoes of this video. Siege weapons and an actual siege. First off, once again, graphics looking gorgeous, and what is this here? Oh, this would appear to be a catapult. A catapult. Now, beyond the fact that you can now build catapults, it's going to be interesting to see the gameplay implications once again of this. Now there's a few different things, a few different levels of how they could have that involved, and they could have just had the simple, this is a way to open up a new point of entry into the castle. You can break one specific target or whatever, and you can throw down a ladder, whatever it is. I'm hoping it's more than just that. I'm hoping that this catapult can be used to kill other enemy soldiers, which would obviously be realistic. And even more than that, this is towards the high end. If they actually put this in, I'm going to be amazed. And God, this game is already amazing. But if the castle itself is fully destructible, if you can take down more than just like one part of a wall, you could take down any wall, any tower you want. And what's even more is if you could aim for an archer tower, and if you take that archer tower down, what happens to all the archers inside? They take a bunch of falling damage? Are they going to get crushed by rubble? What happens? That's what I'm kind of interested in. It's a far shot, but if they did make it happen, that would be amazing. So look at this. Poink! Oh man, look at that fly. And so here, we have a battering ram that we are pushing ourselves, and well, not anymore. Now we're having the peasants do it. What'd be interesting is, as you'll see in a sec, well, first off, you saw those guys running through. So they have finally added a sprint option in the game, which was really necessary, and that'll be great. Right now we're on top of a siege tower, and now we're inside the battering ram. But let's go back a little bit to that siege tower if I can. Here we go. So look at the view from here. I'm not sure how we're supposed to actually get on the walls, if you're just supposed to jump over here, or if there's like a board that goes down or what. But once again, the graphics, the view, it's amazing. Look how big this castle is. Right into the side of this mountain. It's just gorgeous. But yeah, so here's a battering ram that we are using ourselves along with a couple of people known on this side for some reason. Not sure what that's about. But once again, it'll be interesting. This could just be another point of entry. And that's what it most likely is to be able to not only climb ladders or a siege tower, but also be able to charge through the main gate. It'll be interesting to see whether or not your character's, say, strength affects how fast you beat down this door and the troops that you have helping you, and if you could choose to have more than just a couple of troops. It'll be interesting to see. Going back to the siege weapons, before we move on here, I don't want to show you guys too much of that. What'll be interesting is how the gameplay with these siege weapons will work. Do you have to build all these things before sieging like a set castle? Like, say, Grunwalder Castle, you need to have at least a siege tower and a catapult, while another castle you might just need a battering ram, or another castle you might just need a ladder. Or do you get to, kind of pick and choose which siege weapons you want to select? So if you're in a bit of a hurry, you got an army coming your way, you might be like, screw it, we're just making the battering ram and we're going to try our luck. That's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, the more siege weapons you create, probably the longer it's going to take to be able to siege. But okay, moving on to the next part, and this is something that I did not expect. I expect a lot of these things, well, besides the board games, okay? I don't think anyone predicted them introducing board games, but that's whatever. You can craft your own weapons now. Just looking at this, not only can you craft it, you can name it, and it looks like you can select from different blades, guards, handles, and pommels, and any combination of those four will create your weapon. Now, if we're looking here at the different stats, we have value, weight, length, balance, swing speed, swing damage, thrust damage. Okay, value, obviously what it's worth. Weight, going to affect how fast it is, how much encumbrance you're going to take from it. Length, that's generic. What's interesting is balance. It'll be interesting to see how that affects gameplay, what the effects of combat are, what balance means. Because obviously in Mount and Blade Warband, there's not a balance stat. There are a few weapons that are just considered unbalanced. So it'll be interesting to see what that means. Maybe you're not as great blocking with it. Another thing to look here is there are different speeds for the different kinds of weapon attacks now. Previously, there was only one speed. Your weapon had one speed, didn't matter whether you're doing a swing or thrust with it. Now those are different speeds, and it's interesting to see that the thrust is actually faster. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how good of a weapon you can craft yourself and what that relies on. Obviously, this is probably going to be about how much money it takes, or at least correlate to how much money it takes is going to be the value. And this appears to be, like, at least in the original game, this would be a pretty beastly one-handed weapon. I mean, 42 swing damage, 31 thrust damage, that's pretty good. What I wonder is whether or not there's going to be, like, a crafting skill that'll allow you to make even better weapons. So, yeah, just look at this. And all those different things make the blade look different. This almost looks like a Uruk-hai blade from, like, Lord of the Rings. I kind of like it. It looks sick. And, shit, if it's doing that much damage, it can't be too bad. So, as you see here, he's naming it My First Sword. It's a pretty good first sword, not gonna lie. Okay, now here we get to something that maybe not be as interesting to you guys. This is a replay system, and so it looks like right now, they're in a multiplayer game. And let me tell you, this is a pretty cool map for multiplayer. Definitely stepping it up from the original Mount and Blade. Those maps were pretty open and straightforward. This has a whole ton of rubble and different obstacles and whatnot. And so if you look what they're doing here, I didn't pay attention the first time, but looking at it now, they're creating nodes as they move around. And what I'm going to guess that these are for is to have different locations for the camera to kind of go down as the battle progresses. Yep, look at this. So that's actually pretty sweet. You can make some pretty cool montages of battles like that. Oh, alright guys. So there you have it. There's more gameplay to come. I think I'm going to add on to the end of this video. There's another, they called it the B-list, I believe. B-list footage or whatever that they cut from the Gamescom. But there's some more footage that I want to show you. There's definitely some more interesting stuff in there, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so here we are. It's called the B-roll footage from Gamescom, and right off the bat we're in character customization, and wow, you can do a lot with this now. So body alone looks like we got weight, build, age, and skin color. So you can see he's messing around a little bit there with the weight. Build, that's probably how muscular your character would be. Not that it's that important. Look at all these options for the face, and look how realistic the faces are now. So much more than the original Mount and Blade. It looks pretty sweet. Like, oh my god, look at those teeth. Okay, that was a little nasty. Okay, so now we're seeing the men here, and once again, before if you did randomize all, you were 90% of the time going to end up with one ugly ass motherfucker as a character. Now look, you do randomize all and you get freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Seriously, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger right there. That's awesome. And Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay. So yeah, that's really nice that the randomize all is okay, his teeth slightly better than that first chick's at least. Okay. So like I said, great options with the character customization. I'm looking forward to that. And just look at this new town scene. So many more people. We're moving around pretty fast. Once again, that sprint option, very nice. And look at that. You walk straight into the tavern, no longer walking up to a door and then entering. The tavern is part of the town. And look at that. You hear that? You hear that music? That's some nice ambiance right there. It's pretty nice. The tavern is packed now, so it's not just going to be the people you can interact with. It's going to be, some regular townsfolk in there as well. There's that board game person over there. Looks like the same board game. So, they said board games. Might only be one. Guess we'll have to wait and see. I like this song. Put it on my iPod. Okay, so we're done with that. Back into the town. Once again, look, it's just packed. And people in all kinds of different clothes. Alright, so here we're talking to this guy. Probably either the guild's master, maybe a arena master.
This again. Cordelos, take care of this, will ya?
Step aside, mate. Look, mate. We don't hand over horses to every beggar in the street who claims there's a staller. No gut packing, or I'll leave you rolling in the same gutter I left your friend. That's it, mate. Draw your blade. I'm taking you down.
Okay, so this appears to be a quest line because he is referring to your old friend who also apparently got his horse stolen or something like that, and this guy also beat the shit out of, possibly killed. So what's going to be interesting, because I don't think this is just a random event. Like, obviously in the original Mount & Blade, you walk around the streets at night, you're likely to get ambushed by some random brigands. This appears to be more like a quest line, and I'm not sure if this is going to be the beginner quest line, which Tale Worlds has said that they are still planning on having a beginner quest line. This one is supposed to be more advanced, more thorough than the original Mount & Blade, where you would just, go after some bandits and rescue the merchant's brother. This one is supposed to take you through all the different factions, which, by the way, they're all new factions, including possibly, I heard rumors about the Empire of Calradia. The big empire that was supposedly, basically what the Roman Empire was, the Holy Roman Empire. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what this is. The new beginner quest is supposed to take you and introduce you to all the new factions. That should be interesting. And I assume that might be part of it. Here we go, we got some combat. We're just fighting some basic peasants here. Boom. Look, that chick tried to block him with a knife, actually, and it didn't work. He still sliced through and killed her. So, that is interesting. See, these are actually looters, not peasants. That's interesting. I like that feature, because realistically, if you have a tiny little knife, you're not stopping a heavy two-handed swing. So I like that. It could just be... And also, wait, hold up. Let me go back there for a sec. I didn't look at that too carefully before. But if you look at his wounds... Yep. See right there? The sword slash, where the sword slash appears is where he gets his wound, instead of just being bloody all over like in the original. I like that, and if you look, second strike comes in here, and he's got another hit mark on his other shoulder. That's pretty nice. I like that. Okay, so here we have the character inventory screen, it looks like. This is pretty neat looking. I like it. It looks like it's showing you the different armor points for the different... Oh, these are our heroes. Oh, these are the heroes. Because you see, he just switched, using these arrows to switch to a new hero. He's equipping him. Nordic Axe. Okay, cool. This is the world map. This looks nice. This looks really nice, guys. That is beautiful. And what's more is if you look on the bottom here, It'll show how much money he has. The eagle, I'm guessing, is the morale of the party. The little guys, I'm assuming, hold on, let me pause here. Little guys right here, I'm assuming that's the party size. It says 7 out of 16, so he has 8 right here, -1 for himself, so that's how many soldiers you can control. I'm not sure, hold on, let's go back here. I think the red shield is your health. I think that's how much food you have left, and it says 0 days, so this dude should probably get on that. And I'm not sure what that red shield was that said 300. And from here on, it just shows a bunch of music, or not shows, but you can listen to a bunch of music that it says can only be used in videos exclusively featuring Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. So this makes me a little excited. In the original Mount & Blade, at least some of it, especially the mods, had a lot of music that was not copyrighted by Tailworlds, and videos would get flagged and taken down, and I would get strikes for featuring that music in there. So hopefully this means that that is no longer the case. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So okay guys, all in all, this game looks to be shaping up just perfectly. They're doing a great job with it. It may be taking a while, but you gotta remember, you gotta think that, look to the future. The longer they take, the higher quality of a game it's going to be. They're already doing a good job, and just imagine with another year or so's time, just how good it could be. So I'll try to keep my eyes out for you guys for any more videos regarding Bannerlord and keep you guys updated with them and break them down, kind of like I did in this video. But for now, as always guys, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking about this video, what features you really like to see, what features you would like to see, or if there's anything that I missed in this video or that you know about Bannerlord that you think it'd be nice if people knew. So, with that being said, as always guys, take it easy.